Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an April favourite. I was going to do a March favourite a lot earlier in the month and I never got around to filming it, so today there's going to be quite a lot of stuff that I wanted to show you, but that's because I've got things all the way from March as well as April to show you. Basically what I'm trying to say, guys, is that my life at the moment is a bit of a shambles. So anyway, I'm going to show you what I've been loving this month. There's quite a lot of skincare. I've got quite a few books to talk about actually this month as well, and I've also got a few makeup-y bits. Anyway, I'm going to get straight on into this video and show you guys what I've been loving. I'm going to begin with a fashion item to start off with because I have been obsessed with this over the last couple of months, and it's this coat that I bought from H&M. This coat I wore in a picture on my Instagram, and so many of you were asking me about my coat and complimenting me on it, which was really lovely. Thank you guys, by the way. It's this khaki green casual jacket and it's got pockets in the front, and it's got this really lovely pattern of flowers in all these kind of muted colours of yellow and red and purple and pink, and to me it's kind of like a tapestry inspired print. That's what it looks like to me. It's really comfortable, it's pretty warm. It's not warm enough, I'd say, for the winter, but as the weather's been lightening up a little bit over the last couple of months, I've been starting to wear this a lot more, and I really love it. So many of you have been complimenting me on this coat. It's from H&M. I think they still have it. If I can find it, I'll link it down below if I can find it for you. Now, I'm actually going to begin with two cleansers that I've been really loving throughout the last couple of months. I couldn't decide between either of them, and because I use them at different times of the day, I thought it made sense to show you both of them. The first cleanser I want to talk about is the Urban Vida Daily Soothing Facial Wash, and it has sandalwood in it and ylang ylang. Now, I have very problematic skin. It gets really unbalanced around the time of the month, so when I'm on my period I get really bad hormonal breakouts, and it really can be very painful. I have combination skin, so I can get dryness in other places, oiliness in my T-zone, and just generally it's quite unbalanced. And you do this quiz and it will give you the results of what skincare range is the best for you, and mine came back that mine would be the sandalwood range, and I really like this. And ever since using it, I haven't had many problems with spots, because usually, like I said, I get spots on my T-zone and also on my chin, and I've got the odd little breakout, but nothing major. I mean, I used to get like 5 massive blemishes on my forehead, and I've got a very clean skincare routine. I'm very fastidious about my skincare routine, and ever since I've been using this, my skin has really cleared up. I've not had any issue with hormonal breakouts around the time of the month. My skin just feels a lot more soothed and it doesn't get red or irritated. My skin hasn't felt this good in such a long time, and I'm so grateful to have discovered this, and I think I'm definitely going to try more of their products. But definitely, if you have combination skin and you're in the market for a good facial wash, I would definitely recommend giving this a try because it works really well. It's available in Boots, I believe, and I think some other stores might have it, but definitely Boots. So if you're in the UK, you can get this brand apparently in Boots. The other cleanser I wanted to mention is the Superdrug Vitamin E Hot Cloth Cleanser. Now, I have always been a massive fan of the Pixie Caroline Hirons Double Cleanse, which I still love to this day. That will never change, but I did give this one a go and I was really impressed with it. It does really melt your makeup off like nothing else. Now, I have used so many cleansers and hot cloth cleansers, and sometimes I can feel that there's still makeup on my face. Sometimes I still get the panda eyes or eye makeup underneath my eyes. This one works so well. You literally put a little bit of it onto your hands and you really massage it into your skin, and it just melts your makeup away and it just leaves your skin feeling so clean and smooth. It's so quick to use. Literally, you're in and out within about 2 minutes. It's so quick and easy, and I've been so impressed with it. Because of the vitamin E and also shea butter in it, it's really moisturising as well for your skin, so it's great if you get dry skin or any dry patches, and it smells amazing. But literally, it's one of my new favourite hot cloth cleansers, and it's only $4.99, and I was so impressed when I used it. I have another Superdrug product to show you, and it is the Calm Skin Refreshing Facial Spritz with chamomile and hyaluronic acid in it. Now, I mentioned this in my last video when I went to the Superdrug pop-up shop in Shoreditch, and I was trying out lots of different things, and I saw this and it really intrigued me, and I love anything with chamomile in it, and everyone was saying, oh, this is really good, and they were pointing me towards this because I mentioned I had combination skin, and I decided to get one when I was there, and oh my gosh, it just feels so lovely on the skin. It's got such a lovely scent to it. It literally smells like a spa, and I'm not even kidding you, and it just makes my skin feel so soothed, and it's just great to put on over the top of a moisturiser when you're just winding down for the evening. If you get very irritated skin redness, if maybe you get acne and you get irritation, that kind of thing, this works so well, and it's just so gentle and soothing on the skin, and I've been so impressed with it. Something else that I've been really loving in my skincare routine is the Lumen Glow Boost Essence. It's got a lot of different fruit extracts in there to really brighten your skin, and I've really noticed a difference with this. My skin just looks so much more kind of dewy and healthier and awake, and look, it's got a little bit more of a radiance to it, and it just really sinks into the skin really quickly. It doesn't make your skin feel sticky, and it's just really nice to put on underneath a moisturiser to just enhance your skincare routine a little bit. My mum also has this as well, and she's got more mature skin, and she has been obsessed with it too. She really likes how it's made her skin look. The last skincare product is on the more expensive end of the spectrum when it comes to skincare, and it's the Tidal Moisturiser by Sunday Riley. I wrote a blog post on this a couple of months ago now, and I have been absolutely obsessed with it. Actually, I think a lot of the skincare things I've mentioned today I've done blog posts on, so if I can find them I'll link them down below. But I've been really obsessed with this. It's basically a gel moisturiser, and it just feels so good on my skin. It just feels so soothing, and it really kind of sinks into the skin really quickly, and my skin just feels so moisturised. And the reason I love this is because it's a gel moisturiser. It gives me the feeling of a really heavy moisturiser, but without that kind of tacky, greasy feeling. And because I've got combination skin, I really don't like having really heavy moisturisers on my skin that feel like they're weighing down my skin, because I end up getting breakouts. But this one, I've been using it for the last few months. I've had no breakouts with this one, and it's just really hydrating, and it's really kept my skin in check. It's kept it all in balance, and it just feels so lovely on my skin. So I'm really obsessed with this, and I think this is definitely my new solid favourite moisturiser, and I would definitely spend the money on it again. I didn't actually buy this, my mum bought it for me for Christmas, but when I run out I'm going to have to get it again because it's so good. Now I want to move on to some hair care products. Now it's weird because I don't think I hardly ever mention hair care, and that's because I never really change up my hair care routine that much, but I've been browsing for some new hair care products for my hair over the last couple of months, and I've found some things that I've been really enjoying. The first hair care product I wanted to talk about is the Moroccan Oil Hair Treatment. I have been a fan of this for years now, and I didn't have any in my cupboard, and I've been using other things and using them up, and to be honest, they don't do the same job that this one does, and I've really not been as impressed by them. And when I ran out of all of my other hair treatments, I basically went back to this. It's basically a oil that you put in damp hair and then you dry it, and it just really adds a lot of hydration and moisture to your hair. It's very good if you get flyaways or if you've got curly hair, but it just makes my hair feel so soft after I've used it, and when I blow dry it, it stops it from going really kind of kinky or having any flyaways. It's also really good for the baby hairs that I get underneath, and I have just really loved rediscovering this month, and it's just so nice. It is quite expensive at £32 for a bottle, but it's a very big size, and the big bottles do last you quite a while, and it's just lovely to put on your hair, and it also smells amazing too because it's got lots of argan oil in there, so it just smells absolutely amazing, and my hair has really thanked me for it this month. My hair definitely feels a lot more healthier, and I do feel a difference after I've blow dried it compared to when I don't use this, so I definitely would recommend checking it out. The next thing I want to talk about is the Argan Hair Therapy Pre-Shampoo Elasticizing Hair Treatment. Oh my god, that's a mouthful. It's basically from Superdrug, and again, I mentioned this in my last video, and I said how I was quite intrigued to try it out when I went to the Superdrug pop-up shop, and I ended up getting one. I really like this. You basically put this into your hair when it's wet before you're going to shampoo it. It's like a pre-shampoo treatment. I love the scent of this one. It doesn't smell like argan oil, it just smells really fresh and clean. But whenever I've used this, my hair just feels like silk. It's really shiny, it's not difficult to put the brush through. I don't get any kind of flyaways, I don't get any tangles in my hair. After I've used this and after I've blow dried my hair and whatnot, and I get out of the shower and I've curled it, my hair just feels so full of life, and it's all shiny, and I just want to swish my hair around and just I shouldn't really do that when there's a candle behind me. Really smart, Emily. Don't do what I do, kids. Life lessons with Emily. Don't swing your hair around when there's a candle burning behind you, because it'll all end in tears, and that will be the end of your lovely tresses. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the Cotton Candy Creamy Shower Foam from Belu, which you can get from Superdrug. Now, I have been really loving this purely for the smell. It literally does smell like cotton candy, but in a nice way. It doesn't smell like really sickly, it just smells like a really nice kind of warm, sweet, spicy smell. It kind of smells a little bit like tonka bean, that kind of warm, spicy vanilla smell. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it really foams up into this lovely creamy lather on your hands. It's perfect if you're shaving your legs. It works really well for that, and it just smells absolutely delicious. I do know that they've got a whole range of this. They've got this in like a cream and something else, and I also think they have a few different other fragrances. I don't have them, I just have this one, and I've been really loving this smell. It just smells so good. The urge is there, guys, believe me. When I smell that, I do want to eat it, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't, obviously, because that wouldn't be sensible of me. Next thing I wanted to talk about is a perfume, and it's the Jo Malone Primrose and Rye fragrance from their English Fields collection. This has corn as the top note, primrose as the middle note, and then rye as the base note, and it's also got a little bit of mimosa in there to sweeten it. It's got a really nice kind of warm, sweet, florally scent. It doesn't smell too kind of, you know, florally as you would imagine. It's got a nice kind of sweet undertone to it, so if you prefer more of a sweeter, florally scent, you probably would like this, but it's got that warmth to it as well. I absolutely fell in love with it, and I've been really loving using this fragrance over the past couple of months. It's kind of become my go-to spring fragrance at the moment, and I think I'm probably going to use it definitely well into summer as well. Now let's talk about some makeup things. Now I've got here the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. Now everyone, and I mean everyone in the beauty world, has been going on about this because it's said to be a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And I have this, and I also have the Tarte one. And personally, I actually prefer this one because I think it blends better. Now, I'm quite lucky because I don't get very troubled skin. I don't get a lot of breakouts, but sometimes I do. And when I need to cover a breakout, I will use this because it's honestly the most high coverage concealer that I actually own, and I think it actually works really well. The last beauty product I have to show you is the Too Faced Life's a Festival palette. I know, another palette. I have literally got two big drawers in these Alex drawers full of palettes. I don't need any more palettes, I keep telling myself, but it's an obsession. I don't know what to do. My obsession knows no boundaries. But in all fairness, I didn't buy this. My mum bought it for me for Easter, so she's the enabler, but I'm very grateful to her because I really wanted this palette, and I just absolutely love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's this really cute kind of rainbow design with this big unicorn on it, and then you open it up and you've got all these lovely, really colourful shades. This is definitely a palette for those who like to play around with colour, because you've got greens, you've got purples, you've got pinks, you've got your teal colours, you've got a few kind of neutral colours, but to be honest, most of this palette is more for people who like to play with colour, but I do, and especially in the summertime as we get into warmer weather, I love wearing colourful eyeshadows, and I've worn this quite a few times now, and whenever I've worn these colours, particularly the green shades at the top, people have always complimented me on my eyeshadow, and I just love it. Again, like Too Faced always is, they're really easy eyeshadows to blend. They look really lovely on the skin. Their glitter eyeshadows are always really pretty, so it's perfect if you like your colourful glittery eyeshadows, but you've also got a few shades in there that you can balance it out and create a look with. So this is not one of those palettes where you have to literally just use it just for the pops of colour. You can actually use it to create a whole look because you've also got a couple of matte shades in there. So I think this is really good for that, and I think they've done really well with this palette, and I'm just obsessed with it. I mean, the packaging alone is just everything. It's a freaking rainbow and a unicorn. Now I'm going to move on to kind of more lifestyle things. So I've got quite a few books and also some TV shows and things I wanted to mention, but I want to start off with this book. Now this is from Katie Daisy. Now I've mentioned her on my channel quite a few times before. She's a very talented artist, and she's made a diary, she's also made a couple of books and a calendar, and her drawings and her illustrations are absolutely stunning. They're all very much inspired by nature and the earth and the changing seasons, and she brought out this new workbook, and it's got places for you to write in, and it's just got inspirations, kind of daily inspirations about nature. And I mean, the illustrations in this are just absolutely stunning. They are just everything. I mean, just look at this the little fawn on there. Look, it's just so lovely. It's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and I love her work. And whenever she brings something new out, I'm like, I must buy it. I know it's going to be good, so I'm not even going to bother just waiting. I'm going to pre-order it because I know I'm going to want it. And her work is amazing. She's on Instagram. She's literally everything, and part of me kind of envies her because I wish I could draw this well, because she's just so flipping talented and her work is incredible. I love her. So check her out, Katie Daisy, the Wildflowers workbook. Now I'm going to get on to the category of books. Now I've got quite a few books to show you this month because over the past few months, I have been enjoying the fact that I haven't got a degree or a master's degree to study for, and I've got time on my hands to be able to actually read again for pleasure. But the first book I wanted to show you is just so awesome. It's called The Goodnight Stories for Real Girls. Hey guys, so future Emily is just editing this video and she realised that she said stupidly The Goodnight Stories for Real Girls, but it's actually called The Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, and that, my friends, is what we call a classic blind girl moment. Bye. Now this is the first book, but I think they've brought out a second book as well. Now I have seen this everywhere. I went to the London Book Fair in my last vlog and they had a massive stand with all these books there, and they're everywhere. They're in Waterstones, I've seen them in Sainsbury's, I've seen them in pretty much every bookshop I've been into. It's basically a book for young girls, and there's all different stories about all different women, and all women from all over the world. So kind of so many different women that I've not even heard of. I mean, and some iconic women that you'd expect to be in there, you know, like Michelle Obama, you know, Frida Kahlo, Helen Keller. But it's just really inspiring to just read the stories of all these different women from different parts of the world throughout history and time, and just hear their stories about how they lived and the things that they did and their achievements and their accolades. And it's meant for young girls, so it's meant to inspire young girls. And to be honest, I would have loved this as a child. I want to read about women who actually said, no, screw this, I'm going to do something with my life and I'm going to show the world that I am a force to be reckoned with. My favourite story so far is about Grace O'Malley. I actually knew about her already, but when I saw this I actually screamed because I was like, oh my god, they've put Grace O'Malley in there. She was basically an Irish pirate. She became friends with Queen Elizabeth I, but she was so badass. So read that one because that one's my absolute favourite. She was just hilarious. Like, her life story was just awesome. Even if you're not a young child, even if you're not a young girl, maybe if you've got a young boy, maybe if you're, you know, just an adult, just get it. It's great. Just get it. It's the best thing ever. It's amazing. Just get it, okay? Just get it and be done with it. Now, some other books that I've been loving. Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. It's basically a fantasy story for children / young adults. I mean, but I read children's literature all the time. Obviously I did my master's degree in it, why wouldn't I read it even now? And it's basically about a young girl called Morrigan who's a cursed child, and she's been destined to die on the date of Eventide, which is her birthday. So it starts off quite grim, and then she's taken into this other world by this man called Jupiter North, into Nevermore, to compete for a place to become part of the Wondrous Society. And Nevermore is basically this other reality, and it's just really magical. There's dragons, there's witches, there's all sorts of magic there, and it's just really unique. Now, people have been saying, oh, it kind of reminds them of Harry Potter and Alice in Wonderland kind of mixed together in this new way, and I can see why people might say that, but actually I think it's really unique in its own way as well, and it's so unique the way that she's put a spin on magic, and I think it's definitely something that if you liked Harry Potter, you would like this series, but don't go into it thinking that it's going to be just like that, because it's unique in its own way. But it's definitely something you would like if you're into your fantasy. I really enjoyed it, and my favourite character was definitely Jupiter North. He's basically, in my mind, he would be the love child of Albus Dumbledore, the Mad Hatter, and Skullduggery Pleasant all mixed into one. He's just great. He's just so hilarious. And I also love Fashioneyesta, the big Magnificat who goes around the hotel where they live. She's just hilarious. I listened to it on Audible, and the narrator was actually really good. So definitely, if you're looking for a new book to read and you like fantasy, try this because it was really good, and I can't wait for the new book to come out in, I think it's October, so really excited for that. Another book I loved was Breaking the Silence by Joanne Milne. The book is basically a memoir written by Joanne about growing up in Newcastle in the 70s and throughout her life as someone who has deafness. And I found it so interesting to read because I felt like I could relate to this book in so many ways. Even though I have a different sensory disability, I've got a visual impairment, my experiences were a bit different to hers. I felt that I could relate to her on so many levels, and I just found it really interesting. And then the last book I have to mention is actually, it's an audiobook, but you can get it as a normal book as well, but I have the audiobook just because I always listen to everything in audiobook because it takes me too long to read print books otherwise. Is The Call, and it's by someone called Peadar Glen, and it's, in my mind, The Hunger Games meets a fairy tale, and it's basically about this girl who lives in a time in Ireland where these fairy creatures from this other world are calling up young people to go into this world, and they've got to try and fight for survival, and it's about her fight for survival. And the other thing I thought was really interesting about this is that she has a disability, and she's got impaired movement of her legs, which I thought was really interesting because I don't often read about characters with disabilities. They're few and far between. I remember that a few people had recommended this to me when I went to a event about diversity in children's books, and they said, oh, you've got to read this book if you're into that because it's really good. And I had it on my list of books to read and I bought it and I've been really enjoying it. So it's very dark, I'm not going to lie, but it is really, really gripping. And if you like fairy stories, fantasy, but you like kind of darkness and you like the Hunger Games, you would really like this. It's really good and I've really enjoyed reading it. Now I want to mention a few TV series. So the first two are on Netflix. The first one is called Nailed It, and it's basically a reality TV show where people have to try and bake these recipes of these really fancy, and I mean really ornate, Instagrammable cakes that are, basically these cakes were like Insta famous, or they were internet famous, and these people have to try and replicate these designs within a designated amount of time. And the catch of it is they can't bake, bless them, they're not the best bakers in the world, and they have to try and bake the recipe. It's literally the funniest thing I've watched. It's so funny. I was rolling on the floor laughing. It's on Netflix, it's called Nailed It, it's hilarious. You will binge watch it, I guarantee you. The next one is A Series of Unfortunate Events, which is again on Netflix. It's the second series now. It came out in March and I binge watched it in about, I don't know, a week, and I was obsessed with it. They've done a really good job of the second series, and if you haven't watched it at all yet, do watch it. If you're a fan of Lemony Snicket and the Series of Unfortunate Events, the books, you will really like the series. I think they've done a really good job of it, and I think they've really done a good job of adapting the characters personally, so I think that's definitely something to get your teeth into. The last series that I want to talk about is Escape to the Chateau, which is on Channel 4, and it's basically a series that has been running for quite a while now, but I'm quite late on the bandwagon. The new series has recently came out, and it's about this couple who buy a chateau, a derelict chateau in France, and they renovate it and restore it to its former glory so that they can make a business out of it. But it's a really good series to see what they're doing with it, and they're really talented and they're really hard working, and they've got all these really cool ideas, and it's just a really fun, light-hearted series to watch. And it's on Channel 4. I think you can get it on demand at the moment, so definitely check that out if that sort of thing is up your alley. And the last thing I wanted to mention is a film called Goodbye Christopher Robin, and it's basically the backstory as to how Winnie the Pooh was written and the relationship that the author had with his son, who inspired him to create the character of Christopher Robin. The acting was really good and I really enjoyed it. And greetings again, guys. This is another message from future Emily as she edits her video, and she just realised that the camera seemed to hate her because as she was going through the footage, it seemed to cut out as she was about to finish the video and say goodbye. So future Emily has to do the job. Goodbye everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon.